Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and happy holidays. Today I want to make a guide for Ark Survival Evolved. This is going to be a guide for newbies, but it's going to be a little bit more than just your standard guide. Right now we have an event going on called Winter Wonderland, which is very harsh for newcomers to the game, and no doubt we're going to have some new people joining the game because it is on sale right now for $17.99 on Steam. Now, what prompted me to make this guide is that it's very cold right now. When I first started playing Ark, I did not have that problem. So you've got the cold going against you, and man, it is going to kick your ass if you don't gather quickly. And no matter what, I'm going to bet most people are going to die a couple of times before they establish themselves a decent little base. And once you do that, you're going to be okay. But I'm going to show you guys how to do that real quick. Now, before you choose a spawn location, you're going to want to make sure you start in the southern area. You do not want to spawn in the northern area because you're going to die very quickly. There's some nasty stuff up there. The east and west coasts are mildly dangerous to very dangerous, depending on how lucky you get. But the southern coast is very, very safe for the most part. There are some things that will roam and tear your face off, but it's definitely the safest option. So the first thing you're going to notice is that you're freezing your balls off and you're pretty much already dying. This is a very harsh time for newbies. This is something that, man, it's just really difficult at the moment to get a foothold. You're probably going to die a couple of times, but to start out, you're going to want to run along the shore and gather up some rocks. Once you're done with that, you're going to want to start punching some trees to get yourself some wood and some thatch, and you're going to want to make a pickaxe. Now, once you've done this, you're going to want to go look for some stone facings, pick at those, and you're going to get some flint. And at this point, you can choose to either make an axe or you can make a fire. Most times I would say go ahead and make an axe, but because you're freezing to death, I'd say it might be a good idea to go ahead and make yourself a fire. Now, keep in mind the fire is not going to keep you alive, but it will help to sustain you just a little bit longer. You can stand right on top of this fire, though, however, and you will die. You'll just die slower. But the most important thing about the fire is it's going to help you find your corpse when you die, because as I said, you're probably going to die a couple of times. So when you do, you'll be able to find your body and pick up from where you left off. That's why I don't want you guys to go venturing too far, because once the hypothermia starts to set in, it takes a while for you to die, and it's kind of strange, but you'll have like a broken bone symbol showing that you're pretty much crippled. You'll start walking slow, you'll hear some funky music, and then you'll die. When you start hearing that music, get close to the fire, prepare to die by the fire, and then when you spawn up, just try to find it. It's not too hard to find your corpse in this game. It spawns you pretty close to where you were before. Just run along the coast looking for the flames and you shouldn't have any trouble at all. Now, there's these obelisks, and these are going to help you get around the island. They're going to help you to navigate, so keep an eye on where they are and kind of get your bearings to where your fire is and try to match that up. So that'll help you find your fire. All in all, guys, I really don't think you're going to have a hard time finding your way back to the fire at all. Something that is definitely worth noting is that the axe is going to get you more wood when you chop at trees, and the pick is going to get you more thatch. And we're trying to get thatch here. We're really not going to be using the axe too much, but it's nice to have it on us. But you're going to get enough wood from just using the pick. So go ahead and harvest up some thatch. But you're going to want to also be keeping an eye on your hunger, because in this game your hunger goes down really quick, and that's also going to be a factor that's trying to kill you. So while you're out there, if you unequip everything and you're just using your hands, you can gather from the trees out there, or the bushes rather. You can get some berries, and you can also get yourself some fiber, and the fiber is going to be very much needed in order to make yourself a thatch house. And it's not going to be a very elaborate house. This is just something that's going to help to get you more established so you don't die. But these fibers are going to also come in handy for making some clothing, which is going to help you survive the cold. However, those berries are not going to sustain you for very long. They will help, and it's just kind of a bonus to gathering fibers, but you're going to want to look around for the little penguins or the little dodo birds, and you're going to want to kill them. They are not going to present a threat to you, so go ahead and whack away at them. Make sure when you harvest from them that you're using the pick, because that's going to give you more meat. If you're using the axe, that's going to give you more hides, and hides you're going to need later on for a bed, but we're not going to focus on that just yet. Now, when you gather the meat from whatever it is you kill, keep in mind that if you get some prime meat, this stuff is going to replenish a lot of your hunger, but it spoils quickly. So you're going to want to cook that up as fast as you can and eat it. The other meat, that doesn't rot as quickly, not nearly as quickly as the prime meat. So you're okay to just kind of keep that on you for a little while. But by the time you get around to cooking it, you're probably going to die and have to run back. Now, while you're doing all this craziness and trying to survive, you're going to notice that you're leveling up. When you do level up, I personally put points into endurance because I think that it helps with cold. It doesn't really matter too much, I don't think, but as soon as you can, you're going to want to unlock the clothing option, and you're going to want to unlock the options to get a thatch foundation, thatch wall, and a thatch roof. Also, as you go along, not as important, but you're going to want to get the door frame for thatch in the door as well. Those should come after you've already gotten the walls and the foundation and the roof. Once you've got access to that clothing, and once you've got access to start creating a thatch shelter, you're going to be doing much better. Now, you might die once or twice while you're gathering these items, so just keep in mind, keep a lookout on that fire. Make sure you keep, I cannot stress this enough, keep that fire near the shore. Don't go inland too far. So once you do this and you get everything well established, you get yourself a little abode, you can go ahead and place your fire pit inside the thatch. It's not going to burn down the thatch hut. This is something that I was kind of concerned with, but it doesn't burn it down. You're going to be nice and toasty warm in there. At night, things are much colder and your chances of survival are diminished. So if you can, try to stay indoors. But at that point, guys, you're going to be you'll be pretty well set here. Now, this is a brutal game by default. It's just a brutal game. You're going to die a lot. So what you're going to want to do now at this point is you're going to want to get yourself a sleeping bag. By doing that, you have to go around and kill some creatures to get some hides. Once you get enough hides, you're going to want to make a sleeping bag, but do not consume it because it's only a one-time use item. It will be much better used as a bed. It's an ingredient to get a bed, and that is going to give you a permanent respawn where you respawn in your house every time you die, and this is going to be a godsend. It's going to stop you from having to run around like a maniac trying to find your house. Also, you're going to want to get yourself a storage container just so that you can put things in there that you don't want to lose, because as you start to get more well established, you're going to get a little bit more ballsy and you're going to start wandering into the forest a little bit, and if you get killed in there, you're probably not going to be able to find your body and whatever is on you. So any of the valuables that you have, you're just going to feel more reassured knowing that those things are in the house and not on your person. Now, also, while you're gathering from the plants and gathering up some fibers, you're going to get these things called stem berries. These are going to help you with your stamina. And in case you haven't noticed, when you're running around the island, you're going to get short of breath, and your guys are going to have to stop and stand there. And that is not good in a situation where you're trying to mad dash to get yourself a shelter before you freeze to death. You can pop these things for a little bit of a boost. That way, it just helps you to get around a little bit more. They also replenish a little bit of your food, but they dehydrate you just a little bit, which isn't too big of an issue. You can just take a quick dip into the ocean and get some of that water back, which is going to cool you off at the same time. But if you got your fire, that shouldn't really be too big of an issue. I wouldn't worry about it because, to be honest with you guys, like I said, you're going to freeze to death anyway a couple of times, and hopefully nothing picks on you. Because when I was getting established after not playing for a while, getting into this holiday update, I had one of those raven creatures come in and completely destroy my thatch base that I had created, and I had to start all over. So this game can be just absolutely brutal, but starting right now is particularly brutal, which is why I wanted to make this, and I hope you guys find it useful. That's about it for this video, guys. I want to have a little bit more of an in-depth guide as I go along for this. This is just something to help the newbies out, the people who just picked up the game and they can't get a foothold because they're freezing to death and they're being eaten and they just cannot get themselves established. If this video helped you out, please take a moment to leave a thumbs up. If you're new here, I ask that you please subscribe. I thank you all for watching, and I hope that you all have a very Merry Christmas.